Change is difficult because it is, at its root, a kind of death, a shedding of the familiar self, a disintegration of the known narrative. You see, the human psyche is a masterwork of pattern and preservation. It constructs a reality from the fragments of past experiences and then becomes attached, even addicted, to that architecture of the self and world. Change, then, threatens the very foundation of identity. It is not merely the adoption of a new behavior or idea, it is the dissolution of the old paradigm. Now consider that we are creatures of habit, not just biologically, but ontologically. Our neural architecture is carved by repetition. Synaptic pathways fire and refire until they become the grooves of personality, behavior, and perception. Change asks that we climb out of those grooves, and the walls are steep. They are carved not only in the brain, but in the culture, the language, and in memory. And then there is, of course, fear. Fear is the true guardian at the gate of transformation. Not the melodramatic fear of monsters or fire, but the subtle and pervasive fear of uncertainty. Because to change is to step into the unknown. It is to relinquish control, to dance with chaos, and say somewhat to the cosmos, I'm willing to become something I cannot yet imagine. And that is terrifying. The ego recoils, the mind invents reasons and distractions and delays, and the system seeks homeostasis, not evolution. But here is the great paradox. Without change, there is no life. The static is dead. All things that live are in flux, cells dividing, stars dying, thoughts arising and dissolving like mist. So when change arrives, whether through crisis, revelation, or quiet longing, it is not an enemy, but more an invitation, an emissary to the developed self, calling out to become more than we have been. The trick, if there is one, is to somewhat surrender, not to force change, not to wage war against the self, but to listen, to follow the subtle signs, the inner urgings, the discontent that whispers, this is not all. Because when you follow that thread, when you trust that the process of transformation is guided by an intelligence greater than the ego, then change becomes not a trauma, but a sacrament. So yes, change is hard, but it is also a metamorphosis of the caterpillar into the butterfly. Not a linear improvement, but a dissolution and rebirth. And in that, we somewhat touch the mystery. We become not something different, but something truer.